Okay, so I'll happily wait till game 162, but like, I'm still gonna be unhappy currently. Oh, hey, no, dude, they'll be fine, but they deserve to lay in this bed right now. Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 5 of the regular season, where the Astros lose 3-1. God, that's getting familiar, to the San Francisco Giants. They drop the second game of said series, and they automatically lose said series to the Giants. They can salvage a game tomorrow to at least not get swept by said Giants. Now, this is a continuation of yesterday where I said, among other things, hey, I'm not concerned, they're going to be fine, but this is getting extraordinarily annoying. And this is just going to be the continuation of that. Because this is, simultaneously, not troubling, not worrisome. It's the first week. It's just getting incredibly annoying and to the point of like, hey, this is kind of unacceptable, however. It's another game where you score one run. Somehow you score a run and your average for the year barely dips, which is not great. Their season high right now is 3 runs in a game, which is, I mean, God, everyone else has scored like 10 runs at this point already, so that's not the best look. Now, I still think there is much positive of said game. However, there is also much that makes me go, wow, this is kind of miserable baseball to watch to start the season. The positive for it is pitching looked good. Again, 3 runs against a pretty solid team. That's fine. 3 runs against anyone is pretty fine. That's a winnable game. Very winnable. Hayden Wesninski was okay. He pitched 5 innings. He got 6 strikeouts. He got way too many walks. Not loving the 3 runs. Not loving the contact. 5 hard hit balls in 5 innings. But hey, you know, it was still around 1 per inning for the hard contact. He only made a couple of mistakes. It wasn't too bad. He picked up the 6 strikeouts. And this is probably your, like, 7th starter when the year is all said and done, because I assume you'll get McCullers back, probably. You'll get, hopefully, a couple of other guys back from injury. Luis Garcia maybe is a possibility at some point in this season, you would hope. You'll probably make a pitcher move at the deadline. That's just sort of the standard for the Astros at this point. Like, he's probably your 7th guy. And, like, someone from AAA will emerge at some point to the Astros. Let's not kid ourselves. I'm not concerned. He might even just be bullpen depth. It's fine. That's a very winnable game from a very, very depth starter in your rotation. Bullpen was good. Taylor Scott got into some trouble through his inning in a third, but picked up a pair of strikeouts, didn't give up any runs. How could you complain about that? Stephen O'Kurt, or as Noah, friend of the channel, said, Goat Gert. Goat Kurt. I did remember it, in fact. He looked good. Inning in 2/3, picked up a pair of strikeouts, nothing too bad out of Goat Kurt. Then you go to Brian King, strikes out the side on 14 pitches. My God, what a guy that Brian King is. You might say, he is a king among men. That's just horrible. This is what the Astros have already forced me to do, make terrible jokes like that this early in the season. Don't blame me, blame them. Now, you want some positives for the lineup, like offensively speaking? 7 different people had hits in this game. Altuve had his first home run of the year. If I'm not mistaken, 9 different people had hard hit balls, and all 8 of the 9, starting 9, had a hard hit ball, or multiple in this game. The only one that didn't was Chaz, but he only had 2 at-bats, and hey, he had a base hit in one of the at-bats. Here is the problem. Never were multiple of those hits in the same inning. They had 7 hits in this game, but they didn't walk a single time, and they only had 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position despite having 7 hits. Like, that is genuinely impressive. Here is the bigger issue with me for this game, right? The Astros had 7 hits, but they only had 2 at-bats throughout the game with runners in scoring position. You might say, Weston, you already said that. This is what it's building to. The Astros, in a 9-inning game, had 4 leadoff men reach. Like, you had 4 guys reach. One of those was Altuve, so you can't say, well, they had him on and then they didn't get him home, because he got himself home. But apparently that's what it takes. You had 3 other guys in 3 different innings. So in over a third exact, but in a third of the innings, you start with a free base runner aboard and you do nothing with them. Nothing. And in one of the innings, you get, the first guy gets out, Brendan Rodgers, but then Chas McCormick gets a hit. and flips the lineup over with a man on for the top of your lineup. Late in the game, you're only down 2, and now the tying runs at the plate. Altuve grounds into a double play. I'm not blaming Altuve. He is basically the only person who has actually hit this season. The only one with a 300 or better average to start the season, which again is not troubling, but this early is a little bit, because you'd like someone to be punching ridiculously above their weight. Actually, that's not true. There is someone punching above his weight. His name is Chas McCormick, and he's batting 500 with an 1100 OPS. And he got pinch hit in this game, because life is a cruel, cruel, cruel person. I am not concerned about the offense. It is just getting to the guys. Are we so for real right now? Portion of the event. They have got to start stringing hits together, and they have got to actually act as if the season has begun. I preached yesterday, or more so screamed yesterday, about the fact that they don't start seasons on time, and this is a continuation of that. This is another game that was lost simply because it's early in the season, and it looks mid. It's just incredibly mid. You get so many guys aboard. Like, that's the thing. It is a gift to get leadoff men aboard. Normally, you have to grind later in said game to get leadoff men and to get base runners. You were gifted at 4 different opportunities in this game a leadoff runner in an inning. And then in one of the innings, you were gifted the 9th hitter getting aboard to turn over for your offense with only 1 out. And in those 4 innings, the only run you got, 5 innings, in those 5, the only runner you got was the dude who hit a solo home run. It's just not great. You had a lot of hard contact. You killed them in the expected batting average game. The pitching staff looks pretty good. I'm not concerned. I am just getting extremely frustrated, the same would you get frustrated with a friend or a family member doing anything, not because you're mad at them, but because you know deep in your heart you are better than this. Start acting like it. So the Astros tomorrow at 4 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. God, baseball is so back. We'll try to salvage a single game of the series. The Giants are sending Landon Rube to the mound, and the Astros are sending Framber Valdez to the mound. The game is at 4:10 Eastern, 3:10 Central. I'll be here later in the day to talk about it, but as for right now, that's all I have. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.